saying coulda, shoulda, woulda. I'm like, I really, really did. Like, for real. Yeah, for real. They saying coulda, shoulda, woulda. I'm like, I really, really did. Like, for real. Yeah, for real. They saying coulda, shoulda, woulda. I'm like, I really, really did. They like, you couldn't have. I thought you was a silly little kid. We learned to cut it close, the most sharp as a knife too. Accelerating faster, half mastering life too. Whoever took the order to slaughter people you dancing to, just following orders too. Got people to answer to. Prancing knew the Santa Claus was cutting it with Manitow. Would've got his own pack, with a sled and a dog. My dog better not come tell me nothing about what a hoe said. As real as whack, come in this bitch fake walking. What up, you could do whatever you want. Just put your mind.
All right, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Let Me Speak podcast. And as always, I am your host, De'Asia. I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning back in once again. I hope you guys are all doing blessed and having a good Thursday. That song y'all just heard was called Really Did by Easy Money. And he is the husband of my guest today, Taisha from Watts, California. That's right, Watts, California. So, Taisha, why don't you go ahead and tell the listeners a little bit about yourself. What's up with you? What's going on with you?
Okay, well, I'm Taisha, native of Los Angeles, by way of Watts, California. I've been through some things, in life. I've been out now, out of federal prison for 4 years. It's been a journey. I started my catering company, which is Southern Taco Catering Service. When I got out, it's not been easy, but I must say that I've made a lot of progress within the 4 years. I'm currently I cater to transitional homes 7 days a week. 7 days a week, 365.
No days off, huh?
None.
That's right.
So, and we're getting ready to open up to the public. We got a location. We're building from scratch.
Where's the location?
On Crenshaw between Stocker and King.
That's
right there in the heart of Crenshaw.
Make sure y'all check that out.
4116.
4116 Crenshaw Boulevard. We're right there. Come check us out. We'll be opening the doors in about another 30 days.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
You want to go ahead and introduce yourself? I know it's Easy Money. I know you said you didn't want to talk or you want to be, but go ahead.
I didn't want to hijack the
go ahead.
But I'm Easy Money.
That was your song.
Yeah, that was me just not really did. New Orleans native. California, not L.A. Not Watts, but L.A.
From L.A. to L.A.?
Yeah, you did. N-O-L-A. So, recording artist, been doing it for a while. I've been home maybe 6 years from federal prison. Right. So, we didn't meet in there, but our paths crossed along the way. So.
Right. All right.
Definitely.
Okay, so if you guys are tuning in for the first time to the Let Me Speak podcast, basically this podcast, I started it to bring awareness to black men in the rap game. I feel like a lot of the times media, especially white people, they see a black man and who's a rapper. All they see him as a gangbanging thugs, pants sagging. True. And we know they are a lot of the times it is. Sometimes it can be just that they're not really about much. But a lot of the times we know that these men are black kings. They're intelligent. They know a lot. You know what I mean?
True.
And so, but even with that being said, a lot of the times, majority of the times, they look at us just whether we're a male, female, rapper, doctor, whatever. They just look at us as beneath them.
Right.
And I want to, and I'm so glad to have you guys on. And we're going to be talking about, your reforming, coming out and coming back home, and how that was changing. And I really want to just focus on how you can still, go to prison and come out and do some real change and make something. And I just want people to understand that. And just because you went to prison and just because whatever you in your past doesn't mean you're uneducated. Doesn't mean you don't know this and that.
Right.
So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it.
Let's get it.
All right. So, I want you to go ahead and start off about just how if you want to touch on how your time was while you were in prison and how it's been for you coming out?
Well, my time this time, because I'm not. This wasn't my first time in the prison system, but this time in particular, I actually took time out to find myself. Because I believe I know I was caught up in just the whirlwind of society's picture, just growing up in the streets of Watts. It was rough and difficult, and I thought that life was supposed to be that way.
Right.
I had no control of my thoughts. So this time in prison, I took time out to find myself and get control of my thoughts and use my power, my brain power.
Right.
That's what we failed to do.
Yes.
We fail to do that, even coming up, because when people are always telling you what to do, how to think, all of this. So we, as black people, as a black woman, and even for my brothers coming up, we always told that we're bad. It's negative. So that sinks in, and we start to believe that. So we start to imitate what we've been taught, opposed to taking time to really think and realize who we are and what we want to do with our lives. So this time prison was a good thing for me. Yeah, do you want to speak on that? How was it with you going, and how do you transform yourself?
Actually, I went there thinking, when I got there, I'm thinking they're going to have stuff that rehabilitate you, but you realize that you have to rehabilitate yourself.
And we're going to get into that. Yeah, so, go ahead.
Yeah, so I honestly, I took time out because they had like maybe 1,500 men on a compound, right? So I got a chance to study the male species. As me being a male, I got a chance to study him, and I got a chance to see 1,500 different versions of me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I got to see things that I saw people do that I didn't like, that I was like, I do that, I got to change that. Right. And I saw them do things that I do or wanted to do, and I was like, I got to do more of that. I got to pick up on that. So that was part of my growth. You know what I'm saying? Like just being able to see what I am, what I want to do, and for the first time in life, just being able to stop and reflect on everything that I had been through to get me to that point. When you there and everything gone and you just reflecting on your life and looking back, it play like a movie.
Right.
Because we moving so much, we never stop to get time to think and just look at everything going to that point. So
he brings me to a good question that I want to ask. So how do you feel, Taisha, how do you feel with being in prison? Like, do you feel like they focused on reforming inmates?
Absolutely not.
Okay, go ahead, touch on that.
No, only way that you're going to get reformed is if you reform yourself. The prison system is it's a door for you to come back.
Right. So they don't set you up for...
No, they don't set you
for
up...
for life after.
No. They set you up for failure. I mean, they're not setting you up for anything. You're just there, and it's a circus, you know what I mean? If you want to be a part of the circus. But like I said, there are those who take a step back to reflect on their life and to situate themselves and reform themselves. It's all within you. There's nothing that the prison system can do to reform you. You have to have that desire within your heart and then take that opportunity, because now you're just responsible for you. You have all of the outside things, kids, school, the street, everything is removed. So you take that moment and that time, however long it is that you're there, to reform yourself. Because, like I said again, the prison system focuses on keeping you brain dead, I would say. You should see the pill lines. They give out medication to keep you inebriated. It's so many people in there inebriated. They can't. They don't know which way they coming because they're on drugs. They take you from one drug to another one. Then when they release these people out on the streets, they're going through withdrawals. They still addicts. You all go in the addict and you come out an addict.
Right.
So there is no reform there.
I think it was. I want to say was it in Sweden? You remember the prison? There was a prison. Was it Sweden? I think. Yeah. Basically, this prison it was like a getaway, like a vacation getaway. The the cells, the cells were amazing at TVs, and they had classes for the inmates to take so that when they get out of jail, they'll be able to, they'll have something to help them start like a, new fresh life. But basically, like I said, they had stuff like mechanic classes, like wood shop, stuff like that classes. And I thought that was a great idea because, yes, I do feel like, with certain charges, people should be punished. But at the same time, a lot of the, people they need that help. They need to be reformed. They need to be prepared and ready for the world outside after prison. So, how do you think that should go within the prisons with them?
It would be great if you actually, some do.
What do you think should be done?
They do have some where you can actually pick up a trade.
I did. I picked up a few.
Okay.
But for the most part here in America, jail is a big business. Jail is a big business, so why would they prepare you to put them out of business?
Jail is a big business.
They're private industries.
Right.
So they're not going to, they even sue the government and say, hey, we don't have enough people in here. You got to get the people in here. Because they done built they built the prisons for you to stay. So, no, they're not going to help you to put them out of business. Absolutely not. Not at all.
Wow. I want to ask, though, what was the biggest challenge for you, though, coming out and into the new world? What was the biggest challenge you faced? How was that for you?
Keeping control of my thoughts. For my first, I would say 2 years that I was out, I didn't watch TV or none of that. And I noticed that he can contest to this, over the pandemic, we was in the house, the TV came on, and everything was just negative. It's just so much, everything is just bad. I found myself starting to become negative, opposed to looking for positive things. So the hardest challenge has been to keep control of my thoughts. What I think, what I want for my life, what I would like to see society look like. Because as long as I focus on those positive things, I'm going to manifest it. Mm-hmm. So that's been the biggest challenge for me.
And you said you've been home for how long now?
And next month it'll be 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you, once you came home, like, did you struggle with, getting a job or anything, stuff like
Absolutely.
that?
I've had jobs to hire me, and then my background come back, I got hired and fired in the same breath.
Do you feel that if you were a white woman coming out, it would have been a little bit easier?
Yeah. I mean, I have some white friends that I was in prison with, and they doing big things, working for Microsoft, and their lives is different when you come from that. I mean, it's just facts. Mm-hmm. So they're given opportunities that we would never be given, period, just because because my name Taisha, they look at the name,
right,
and it's just, the door is closed. So absolutely, it's definitely unfair and unjust, but you can't focus on that.
Right.
Because we can sing and cry and do all that all day long. We have to take the steps to make things better for ourselves, and stop looking for acceptance and hoping the white person, the white society, America is going to take care of us, because it's not going to happen. It ain't happened all this time. It never was set up for it to happen. So that's why we got to get our thoughts together, and that way we can raise a thoughtful generation coming behind us where they know they are powerful. They are kings, they are queens. See, that's what they don't want us to know, that if you use your brain strategically and thoughtfully, it's nothing that you can't do. Nothing.
Right.
So,
do you, just back to my question, do you feel while you were in prison, did you feel like you were treated differently, being that you were a black woman than some of the inmates who were white? Was race a big thing as far as how you were treated?
No, because the majority of the people in prison look like me. So, okay. I mean, the difference would be that you have their families there, and they can't believe Becky, for lack thereof a better name, because is in prison. You know what I'm saying? So the support factor is different. You see that, but mostly it's just all people of color. A lot of color.
Yeah. Now I wanna touch on mental health. So just off top, how was your mental health while you were in prison?